Another week, another Jets game. So I guess we got to talk about it. There are questions, though. There are questions that are worth answering. Jets fans, okay. Yes, the season might be lost, but the team, we are still rooting for the team, and the long term future, the short term future is in jeopardy. In jeopardy, just like that show that Alec Trebek used to host. Now somebody else hosts it. So let's talk about it. Do, 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 do. Right here, right now, it's Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a Jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, right. Come on in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go!
J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby.
Boy Green
meets Wudi. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi. You already know we are Wudi, rocking everywhere. I'm loving the energy from the cold open. Sharon, you're right on the money. What is losing, Alex? Because we talking about Jeopardy. And hey, right here, you already know. Okay, my guy. He is the boy who became king, Mr. Paul Esden Jr. And before I actually pass the mic over to him, I just want to let you guys know that I might be attending this game. It's been a long time since I've attended two games in the same season, and this isn't really the season to give it that accolade. But as you guys know, I'm in North Carolina. The Panthers are playing the Jets this weekend. And for those of you at the tailgate that were enjoying the vibes, enjoying the music, that exact crew is actually headed over to Charlotte. And they told me to roll through. I even got a ticket offer as well for some nice tickets in the 100 section. So I'm thinking about it. Though. Am I really trying to sit through another, blowout loss? I don't know. But is it going to be a blowout loss against the Panthers? I don't know. So I'm thinking about it. And with that being said, I'll pass it over to our guy, Mr. Paul Esden Jr.
So let me just clarify this just to make sure I perfectly understand. There's a chance you might be flying back here to the New Jersey area for this Jets-Panthers game?
Oh,
because it's a Jets home game.
Oh, I literally didn't even realize until right now. Oh my god!
So when you were describing that, I'm like, wow, that's interesting because the Jets host the Carolina Panthers at MetLife Stadium.
Well, thank God that you brought that up because I've been out here having these discussions about tickets and things, and damn, that would have been a wild misunderstanding. So I appreciate it, Boy Green. That's why you my guy, man. That's why you my guy.
Oh my God! Just as you were just going through it, I'm like, "What in the world?" And it's like, "Yeah, they're coming over to Charlotte." I'm like, "Are you sure?" Or
Yo, yeah.
Well,
I would have been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, yes, I have seen Chef Kevin Gilbert has been texting me about like ticket prices being wild for MetLife. So I said, damn, all right, Woody's taking advantage of these $20 tickets or whatever they are at MetLife Stadium right now. So I said, oh, okay, that certainly makes sense. If I lived closer, I'd be going to a lot more of these games just because I'm a freak. But that is hilarious. So, okay, what a start to the show there, Woodster. Big salute to you, my guy. And yes, there are a lot of questions to answer here for the Jets heading into this Panthers game, coming off of everything. So There's no better way to then just dive into the deep end of the pool here, Woodster.
Yes.
And here's my question, right? So the Jets lost another game. They're 0-6. But their defense showed up. Their special team showed up. I want to start on defense here and throw it to you here, Woody. How sustainable is what we saw on Sunday in London against the Broncos? The Jets defense was the reason that they started the season 0-5, in my opinion. And Quinnen even said it, and I agreed with him. Like, man, the defense being so trash was a big factor, perhaps the biggest reason as to why they were 0-5. But on Sunday, the defense was not the reason the Jets lost. But now we're like, all right, so we finally saw it from the defense. Can we see it again? Can lightning strike twice in the same place? So I won't answer my own question this time, Woody. Maybe I will on the rebound, but I'll throw it to you first and say, Woody, how sustainable is the defensive efforts we saw that held the Denver Broncos to the lowest point total of the season, 13 points? Can Steve Wilkes cook again?
Sorry, I'm just hitting up my guys to let him know, like, damn, I guess I'm not rolling through. But to answer your question, how sustainable? That's a really good question. As a matter of fact, it ties into one of my questions, and because it ties so closely, I'll just throw the question that I had out there.
All right,
and it was, is it time to pay Jermaine? Because Jermaine, we had a defense that was sacking the quarterback, that was getting pressures. Then Jermaine is gone. We can't pressure anybody. Doesn't matter if the Cowboys have all of their entire offensive line is out. Doesn't matter. Can't get any pressures. And then boop, Jermaine is back. And now QBs are getting pressured again. So it seems pretty clear to me. I know it's I guess a relatively small sample size, but it seems clear to me that he makes a difference. He makes an impact. I think we all applaud his mentality, his approach to the game, his love for the organization. And I think some of you get lost in the sauce talking about stacks and stuff and, overrate Will over my guy Jermaine, but Jermaine has been a big difference. So with him out there on the field, I'm going to have to say that, yes, I'm expecting to see a much better product out there on the football field. You talked about special teams. My guy, I've been shouting his name every single week, Kene Nwangu. He came back, and now special teams is cooking. Like, sometimes the personnel matters, and I think these are two of those times. So as long as those guys are good to go, they're suiting up. They made immediate impacts in their spot of expertise, and yes, I think they will look better as long as those guys are healthy.
Okay. And can you repeat your question for me so I can pair these two questions together? Go ahead.
Yes. It was, is it time to pay Jermaine?
I don't know if it's this time immediately, right this moment, move everything off the table. Is it because he's under contract for 2026 on the fifth-year option? But the overall sentiment, I agree with. I want to keep Jermaine, and there have been trade rumors. We talked about it earlier today on Boy Green Daily. I talked about it with my interview with Jake Asman on the Manchot Show Boy Green Digital channel about it. Me and Jake are in the same sort of alignment that Jermaine Johnson is one of those untouchables, man. I hadn't even, when people said, hey, Paul, what do you think about the trade deadline? I'm like, this player. I hadn't even thought of Jermaine Johnson. He didn't even cross my mind because I'm like, obviously not. And I think he's the leader of this team. He's the heartbeat of this team. He's a guy I want to re-sign. I want 53 Jermaine Johnsons. I don't want to be trading him. And I don't care, the Jets are quote-unquote asking for a lot, which means the Jets reciprocated in those trade discussions that Connor Hughes brought up, that another team that had a pass rush, and he called the Jets, said, hey, Jermaine Johnson. And apparently the Jets intimated to that other team that it would cost a lot, which means they gave them a price. And hopefully it's one of those, Woody, where you just give a ridiculous price and they'll never match it. So, that's the negotiation ploy. Hopefully that's it. But I want to keep Jermaine. So, not paying him right now or not paying him right now, we can talk about that. But I think truly he's a guy they should rally around and keep forever. So he's one of those untouchables for me on the roster. I don't even want to think about, $1 million man, insert laugh, ha, 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 ha. Everybody's got a price. But, I wouldn't even Like the price would have to be so unbelievable, and then I have to sleep on it to really even think if I would pull the trigger, regardless of what the price is. So I love Jermaine. And then on the Steve Wilkes thing, I think Aaron Glenn has said this a lot. And there's not a lot of quotes we've gone back to with Aaron Glenn and went, yeah. But one of those is Aaron Glenn says, if you've shown it to me on tape before, I know I could get it out of you again. So like Jarvis Brownlee Jr., he talked about like, man, there are some flashes, and I know I can extrapolate the flashes. In this particular case, we saw the Jets defense put a full game together. Outside, they had one hiccup with a touchdown. That's basically the 2023 Jets defense we saw, where they'd give up one play a game, something, a drive, a touchdown, or whatever. And then the rest of it, they bat down the hatches. That's what happened in this Broncos game. They gave it the one touchdown. And besides that, they were really good. So to me, I think we could definitely, it's repeatable performances. Maybe to this elite level of 13 points. I don't know quite if it's that, but you know, with this team and this unit together, and they should be getting healthier here in the coming weeks, which should only be helpful. I think they can, which then puts the pressure back on the offense. Like, okay, I think special teams is going to be pretty good to sort of work that in as well. We could kind of combine it all together, I suppose. Like Canadian Guano coming back, Isaiah Williams. I didn't want him back on the team, but the Jets made a decision. They didn't check in. They didn't ring. Boy Green, you think we should bring Isaiah Williams back? Hell no. They didn't listen if they did call. And he had a really good game. So salute to Isaiah Williams. Good bounce back for the young man. That's good for him. So I think specialty, and Nick Folk was awesome. We got to give a salute to Nick Folk and that massive leg that obviously he has that some people questioned. So 3 for 3, he was great. So special teams good, defense good, offense needs to step it up for the Jets to have any chance.
I mean, no argument there. And really, one main guy I would say was, for at least last week's perspective. Of course, there have been games where, certain different people, had different areas of improvement. But the last 2 weeks, actually, I'll say, definitely one guy, Johnny Boy's favorite player. I don't know how, what he's done to earn that type of undying love from Johnny Boy. But one day, he can call me and we can have that conversation. I guess I'll ask the next question. This question pains. This is the first question I wrote down, and it pains me.
Wow. Okay.
And they do need to answer it. Like this week they do, but we won't truly know the answer for like years, probably.
Wow. Okay, this is deep. All right.
The answer is this roster like truly ass? Like, is it the bottom of the barrel? Because I don't think it is. I'm probably, based on what I'm seeing, I'm even seeing in our comments right here, social media, everything. Based on everything I'm seeing, I'm probably one of the higher people in Jets Nation on the roster. I think the roster is really good. I think that was one of the main selling points during the coaching search was like, our roster isn't, bare like the Saints or, the Titans. Like, no, we got some players. And the press conference, Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn both said, oh, yeah, we got some pieces. We already got some foundational pieces. We're just going to, stack on that. But 6 games into the season, everyone's saying, or not everyone, but a large portion of the fan base and the media are saying trade everybody. Garrett, and then trade everybody. And I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. I think the team is closer to like a good team than, let's just, completely start over. So I just if I start seeing certain names just, flying off the shelves, for 2nd round picks, 3rd round picks, it's going to be real hard for me to sleep at night.
Is this roster as booty cheeks as some people say it is? No, it's not. I mean, we're 0-6, so I mean, there's a harsh realization to that. But I think what week 6 showed you in Denver on defense specifically, where a lot of people said, this defense is like it's so funny, the narratives, how they changed. 2 years ago, everyone says, boy, top 5 roster of football, boom, boom, boom. And a lot of that was on defense. And then heading into this year with what things are going on, trash, booty cheeks, garbage. And then we see week 6, we're like, well, not bad. So, like, it's just been a while on the defense. By the way, real quick, because I see people talking about it in the chat. I mean, this came in earlier today, and I was in the middle of playing with my kids, so I didn't see it till just now, as a matter of fact. So shame on me as the Jets content creator in the room that should have been paying attention to this. Sad news. Let's put it up. Leonard Taylor III got cut today by the New York Jets. So I missed this little blurb coming through. So there you go. That sucks. I love LT3. He has been a healthy scratch for a lot of the season, only playing in a handful of games. He's buried on the defensive tackle depth chart after the double dip trades with Juwan Briggs and Harrison Phillips. They will make a corresponding roster move. That actually should come. I don't know if it'll come during our show, but it'll probably be somewhere in the next 30 or 45 minutes. So we'll see what happens there. But I would just say, we were just talking about talent on the roster. First round talent coming out of college, but obviously didn't live up to the hubbub, and then slipped as an undrafted free agent. I would just say to EZ's point, yes, why release LT3 instead of trying to trade him for anything? I think this is a classic case of we can't overrate our players on the team. Leonard Taylor was a healthy scratch. What were the Jets possibly getting for him, unfortunately? Now, I don't think his NFL career is over. I think he's going to get another shot somewhere. But, it's an unfortunate reality, and sorry for Jet fans to see LT3 just get dumped. We'll see what the other move is, what move is to come, because another roster move to come is something with Garrett Wilson. I don't know what they're going to do. How long is he out? What do they do for that too? So they could be adding another piece to the roster to fill that void, obviously, but sort of sad to see LT3 go.
Outrageous, literally outrageous. It's a promising player. He played well in the preseason. He's earned his spot in this regime. That's when you talk about, the defense is, top 5 or whatever, the ups and downs of the defense. I have never felt that talent was the issue. It's the coaching, right, puts them in the place to succeed. And Robert Saleh, a name that a lot of people are tired of hearing, but he was putting those boys in a position to succeed. At this point, it is inarguable. And he's doing that again in San Fran. And Steve Wilkes doesn't know what he's doing. Again, it was a players only meeting. Steve Wilkes wasn't there. Players only meeting. Jermaine comes back, and now we're talking about, should we give Steve Wilkes the key to this? Man, miss me with all that. Steve Wilkes is still public enemy number 1, unless Justin Fields continues to hold the ball one more time. Then Fields will leapfrog him. Ribbit, just leapfrog him to the number 1 spot, because right now he's number 2. But right now, Steve Wilkes is still number 1. He has talent. We've known he has talent. All pros are on that roster. Pro Bowlers are on that roster, and he can't do a damn thing, putting them in the wrong position. So I think this is a mistake. Another mistake made by this regime. I mean, I've criticized a lot of the personnel moves that they've made, and this is another one that I'm going to criticize. I am disgusted.
Well, in this business, for those that get into Jets content creator land or reporter land or anything, this is where it gets tough, because I like LT3. He seems like a really good guy. We've connected beyond football. We've interacted, texted, DM'd, messaged, gone back and forth, spoken of each other when I wrote some pieces about him when he joined the team. And it seems like a stand-up guy for everything. I tried to help promote his video game channel he's doing. So there's a personal relationship there. But I have to put that aside and just, judge it for what it is. I don't know if I would go. I'm disappointed for those reasons. I'm disappointed because I think he's really talented. But, he's buried. Quinnen Williams, Juwan Briggs, Harrison Phillips, you just start going deeper on the defensive tackle. Where does LT3 fit with everyone that there is? And obviously he's not getting a chance on this team. So I think this is good for him, hopefully. I think a lot of teams should be interested because he's super talented. Maybe to your point, you mentioned the San Francisco or Jeff Ulbrich, who has the number 1 defense in football. Salute to Jeff Ulbrich down there with the Dirty Birds taking out Josh Allen last night. Patriots are in first place in the AFC East. I don't know if that makes me feel any better. But anywho, I think LT3 is going to get another chance elsewhere. He wasn't getting opportunities here, so God bless. I'll stay connected, I'm sure, for a long time with LT3, but he just didn't have a role on this roster, unfortunately, and hopefully he gets it somewhere else. Let's go to it, Wudi. This is another depressing question, but how the hell did the Jets replace Garrett Wilson? He is good news. He avoided serious injury. The way Garrett Wilson was talking at the podium, like after the game, like sounded like someone just died. It sounded like someone just died in his family. It was like, Jesus, the way he was talking. He said, pray that things come back good. And I'm like, oh, great. Exactly what we needed an 0-6 season. Garrett being out for a serious piece of time. He has never missed time in his NFL career. The good news is he's not out for a serious period of time, but he's out for any time. That's big news because the Jets wide receiver room sucks. So Garrett Wilson, it sounds like with the timing of everything, they got week 7 at home against Carolina Panthers. Just to remind you again, Rudy, Jets home, MetLife Stadium, Carolina Panthers traveling to Jets. Week 8, they traveled to Ohio to play the Bengals. Bye, and then they come back for the Browns game. But again, home game, Jets, Panthers. Just want to make that clear. Home game for welcoming in the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers. So with that being said, it looks like Garrett Wilson basically will be out a month from football game to football game, sort of how the times work out. But it'll only be potentially 2 missed games if that's what ends up coming through. So for the immediate, Woody, and I guess you could speak to the Ohio game too, which is the Cincinnati Bengals, which will be the road trip. What do the Jets do offensively with Garrett Wilson gone?
Well, this is another question that we asked 2 different ways.
Okay.
I think
so
that first one,
in, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to recap real quick. The first one was, is this sustainable? I was, crediting Jermaine. This one is okay. Well, what do we do? I think it's actually kind of the same concept. You're coming more from like a coach perspective. What do we do? And I went personnel. I said, can Mason Taylor be the focal point of a good offense? That was the question, that how I phrased it. And we've seen tight end heavy offensive before. Travis Kelce was carrying the Chiefs offense after Tyreek left. Now they've found, some guys to, kind of, I can't even say any pass catcher is carrying it right now. They kind of all just, got a couple fingers on it. But Brock Bowers obviously had a historic rookie year. And Mason, he, not this past game, but the game before that, I believe he had like 9 catches. He can, get a pretty decent workload. So I am curious to see what happens there. I think he has been open. A lot of the plays that we've seen in the last couple of days that highlighted how bad Justin Fields is. Mason Taylor was the guy that was open almost all those times. So it's just a matter of Fields. We was talking about fiber optics. If he could just, plug in an Ethernet, get something, man, like AOL is not it, man. AOL. So if he could just do something to be even a quarter of the guy that Johnny Boy thinks he is, then yeah, I think Mason, could have a big game. The Panthers, they do have a weakness guarding tight ends. Moving forward to the other games, I can't, speak on that too much. You said Ohio. Is that for the Bengals or the Browns?
Well, technically, I guess that will be the sandwich between the bye. They play Bengals first, bye, then Browns.
Oh, yeah. So those next 2 games, right, Mason Taylor should be able to eat pretty well. The Browns, we'll see about that. But those other 2 games, you also got my guy, touchdown scorer this season, Allen Lazard. Should be able to make some plays like he always does. But it's just a matter of, can the quarterback throw the football forward in under 6 seconds?
Yeah, easier said than done. Easier said than done, of course. I would say this. So let me start off with this. There is no silver lining to Garrett Wilson missing any period of time. It sucks. We're 0-6, so it sucks worse. It's just terrible. And this is why a lot of Jet fans out there in the universe wanted a wide receiver too, not just because it drew attention away from Garrett Wilson, which that could only help, but in the case that Garrett Wilson, knock on everything, missed any time, and he is going to miss some period of time, we'll see officially from AG tomorrow how much when he speaks to the media. Like, now you got Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, Alan Lazard, with all due respect. Like, oh my. And I wrote an article about this yesterday. Like in 2018, whatever broadcasts are on, probably CBS, they put up this graphic of the wide receivers. I don't know if I still have it or I would have thrown it up on the screen, but it showed here are the Jets wide receivers today in 2018. It had Rashard Matthews. I don't know if anyone remembers that era of Jets football. Sharon Peake, the Clemson undrafted free agent. Good times. Andre Roberts, the crazy return man. It had Jermaine Kearse, the former Super Bowl hero of Seattle. And it had, Deontay Burnett, the name just hit me, the former Trojans wide receiver. And they had these cats just going out there. The equivalents of other names come to my head, Chad Schillens, Greg Salas. Now I'm just name pulling random Clyde Gates, these kinds of wide. And you're like, oh, dear God. Like if Justin struggled to throw the football forward with Garrett Wilson, oh my, what's he going to do without Garrett Wilson? So I think there's some problems. But here's again, there is no silver lining. But if I'm going to make up a silver lining, it's what Johnny Boy says here. I'm hoping to the high heavens. It's Arian Smith time, baby. And when I say Arian Smith time, my expectations are low. So I'm not saying, Arian Smith, pick him up in all your fantasy leagues, baby. I'm definitely not saying any of that. We've barely seen him all season. But with no Garrett Wilson, they have no other reason not to throw him the football, for God's sakes. So I'm hoping Arian Smith gets some opportunities. Let's see what the kid has. He's a rookie. The rest of the guys are random veterans, random create a player in Madden mode. That, throw Arian Smith in there and see what the young man can do. I broke down some of the numbers, but basically Garrett Wilson has a 35% target share in this offense. With him gone, poof, 35% target share is available. I'm not saying that all has to go to Arian, but it's got to go to somebody. And I don't see anyone rushing. Here, coach. Here, coach. Here, coach. I don't see people running for those answers. So to me, Arian Smith, that's the one thing that sort of revs my engine of like, all right, maybe we can see what the kid has.
It's odd that you completely, like, if I didn't bring up Mason Taylor, he wouldn't be mentioned here when, like, he is the clearest beneficiary of that huge hole in target shares. So
yeah, when we're looking for the next wide receiver gap specifically, you have Garrett Wilson, and the next receiver in production is Josh Reynolds, who really sort of padded some stats here most recently. And padded stats.
Those are good padded stats. I mean, he caught the football. It's not like
but the numbers are like inconsequential. He had a couple of nice catches. Yeah, salute to Josh Reynolds. But I'm just saying, like, the numbers aren't impressive, and he just caught like more balls than he's caught all season, which bumped those not good numbers up to the numbers where he's number 2 on the very long list, right? We go to Mason Taylor and Breece Hall. Mason Taylor and Breece Hall are the only other two not named Garrett Wilson that have 100-plus receiving yards on the season. It's Garrett Wilson, it's Mason Taylor, it's Breece Hall, and boom, a whole lot of nothing, which we all talked about in the offseason. So this isn't some dramatic surprise, but I mean, oh boy. Yeah,
but that. I guess that's what I'm saying is that for those of you, Arian Smith, like, I would, and I know you literally just said you used the very funny sound effect for your expectations. I'm just saying, I don't think they're even the low view is going to be met because, look at the rate there. And that's why I named other teams. Like, there were so many other teams that they don't really use receivers like that. I said the Chiefs already. I'm going to say the Ravens, add the Ravens to that. That was going to be Mason Taylor time and then these running backs. I don't think any wide receiver is about to get a lot of burn. Maybe my guy Alan Lazard. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, what do they have to lose? I guess so. We're 0-6 already, so we'll sort of see where it potentially goes from there. I suppose from that perspective. So that's another one for me. Let me ask you this. So I brought up Steve Wilkes, but let me bring up another layer. Rico Dowdle in back-to-back games. Who would have thought I'd circle this guy before a Jets-Panthers game? He has run for over 200 rushing yards in 2 consecutive games. Now, we don't know if Chubba Hubba, what's going to be happening.
Well, he had 200 all-purpose. He didn't run. Right? Did he run for 200 yards?
Let me pull it up as well. Let me pull up specifically. I know he had over. Oh, let me be more specific. So he had 183 rushing yards against the Cowboys and 206 against the Dolphins. So it's not straight up 200 plus. But I was about to say, I knew it was very high, and I thought he eclipsed it in both. He didn't. So 206 and 183 is what he's had in the last 2 games.
Rico.
And so I throw that again to the Jets. I guess the question is this: how concerned should we be with the Jets' run defense with Rico Dowdle coming to town? Again, we don't know Chubba Hubba. He could be coming back. So I don't what's his name? Dave Canales, the Panthers head coach, did not say that Rico Dowdle is just now clearly the number one, although you'd be a wild man to bench him for I don't give a shit if it's Christian McCaffrey. After running for that, I'm going to keep running the Rico Dowdle train if I'm the Panthers, but hey, keep pounding. Do whatever you want. Hashtag keep pounding. But how concerned should Jet fans be about our run defense issues with Rico Dowdle coming to town?
Well, I didn't see J.K. Dobbins do too much work. As a matter of fact, I was pretty disappointed because I had J.K. in like 6 different parlays.
Ooh, I had him in a fantasy league, so yeah.
Yeah. So that was actually an unpleasant surprise, to say the least.
Yeah.
With Rico, he had this game circled, this last game against the Cowboys. Wanted to let them know what they could have, should have had. So I don't, this game is not circled. He did not circle this game against the New York Jets.
Thank God, finally, someone without a revenge game after all these games this season. About damn time.
Yes. So this is just another game, I would imagine. I'm trying to think if there's someone on there with revenge on the mind. I don't think so. So I'm not losing a lot of sleep over Rico. The run defense looked good, and last week was a special Herculean effort by Rico. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
Thank God. I just double-checked the Panthers depth chart just to make sure there's not some ghost of yesteryear that's coming back to haunt the Jets. From what I saw for the depth chart, no. Frankie Louvu, thankfully, when he blew it up with the Panthers, signed a massive deal with the Commanders, so he's long gone. So no Louvu revenge game to worry about. So, yes, nothing there. But, hey, Rico's got me a little bit like, I don't know if I'm quite like, waking up in the middle of the night, but I'm a little on Rico. That's he has been running buck wild. I mean, back-to-back games. I mean, not just the Dallas one, but also doing it the week prior. Like, damn. Okay. I respect that, Rico. Tip of the cap, sir. Hopefully you got that all out of your system before this Jets game. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first game, is always unique. Like Michael Carter had a fantastic first game in the Cardinals. And his second game wasn't quite the same. Bam Knight. Man, about 2 Jets.
Jordan Mason. Jets. Nice against the Jets. Huh?
What?
Jordan Mason. He came out. Who's Jordan Mason?
Oh, well, I mean, that was y'all that did that. That was y'all. I can't lump myself with that. But yeah, people do come out, right, and they show out. And yeah, I think that's what it was. That first game, and then now the Cowboys game circled in Sharpie, and then now we back to life. I do have a question though. I have a question for you, Boy Green.
Oh, okay. I love questions. Sure.
Well, I guess it's not for you, but it's for Aaron Glenn.
The universe, right?
Yeah. Has the Aaron Glenn Jets ever run a 2-minute drill, like ever before in life? Do you think?
Oof, that was tough. And the only thing that was tougher to watch in that live and having to do play-by-play analysis for what they were trying to do, the only thing that was worse than that was Aaron Glenn, who came to the podium the next day after a full night of sleep and then watching the All-22 and then knew those questions were coming. And his explanation was, I've been in a really good position, Wudi, at the radio station where I've sort of coached up hundreds of interns. One of my made-up titles was internship coordinator, and I've had a few interns have done something like made a mistake out in their like little cubicle area where they're like, Paul, and then I come and check their problem, and I'm like, what the blank happened here? And then when they try to explain what went horrifically wrong, and then they're like, and I'm like, okay, wait, what? That's what happened with Aaron Glenn. When he said, well, the ref said first down, the other ref said fourth down, we're all sort of confused. So I said, let's go with that. I'm like, what? How does that make any sense? So it was very confusing. I still don't understand. Now, the thing that made me feel a little bit better is after all the hoopla back and forth, like the media tried to ask him the same question in a couple of different ways. It kept going, ref, first down, fourth down, confusion, we get the ball back, yeah. And then eventually they brought it back to him and he went, you know what? Basically I screwed the pooch. I should have, with 3 to 5 seconds left, just chucked a Hail Mary. What do we have to lose? It can only be good. And then when he said, paraphrasing, but he said, I made a mistake. That's all on me. I'll learn from it, basically. Shouldn't have done that. So that was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, you are acting like, this is like a one, that was one. Both halves were ended horrifically. And then, the clock management, screwed them in both halves. They tried to run a 2-minute drill with Tyrod. And that also, and in real time, you said, I don't think it's a big deal. But no, it is just another example of complete late clock ineptitude from this regime that ended in a pick six. And then even the first game, week 1, the Jets were the team that had the ball with a chance to get into field goal range to win the game. And that was also horrifically executed. So it's not, that was bad. He had questions. No. Every single time there was an opportunity, and we're talking about 5 times, each one was executed worse than the last. Worse. We are trending down. It's a downward slope. So that's why I need to ask, is this something they've done in practice? Because I know, he got the glove on, but they still fumbling. They be doing this, and so what? So I don't even know if they should be practicing, because then maybe they'll be even worse. I don't know, but I know that was a huge criticism that I was making of the last regime. Solid, my God, the timeouts, all this type of stuff. But it seems like every single one of those issues, the penalties, the timeouts, are way worse under this new regime.
First-year coach. He's going to make mistakes. He's got to learn from them.
Boy, Green, that's literally one of the most disgusting things anyone's ever said to me. With a straight face. Come
on, man. First-year coach. He's not perfect. He's got to learn from it. So here's the thing. When you've never been a head coach before, and while Dan Campbell apparently gave Aaron Glenn some unique opportunities to sort of play head coach for a day, like you do to a Make-A-Wish kid, where you get that opportunity to go through some of the things, you don't know till you're in that chair and you're making those decisions. And Aaron Glenn talked about all offseason, I prepared for this. We do these 2-minute drills. We do every situation, and you think you're ready. And then all of a sudden the spotlight's on you and you're up at the mic. You're like, okay, it happens. You know what? So it was awful, obviously, but AG, don't let it happen again.
But he's been letting it happen every week.
Every week? I don't know about that. Every week has.
Well, I just named 3 different weeks, and we're in week 6, so every other week. Sorry.
So okay, there you go. So there's some level of improvement.
No, because the most recent week it just happened twice.
So that means we're due for an off week here against the Panthers every other week.
You're in one of these. You're in one of these. One of these.
I'm
movies.
not. I just want to make this clear. I am not ready to move on from Aaron Glenn, and I'm not saying you are. And you can share your take on that. I suppose this is a universe question. I know a lot of people want Aaron Glenn's head, whether it's right now or at the end of the season. He should be one and done. I am not ready to rebuild again. I have to trust the powers that be, which was Woody Johnson, the 33rd team. Blessed be he. That they went through a very thorough process and they landed on Aaron Glenn and they landed on Darren Muji. It would be irresponsible to, after 1 year, just rip everything out from the root and say, all right, we fucked up. Let's do it again. And then we're just supposed to trust that I'm sure Woody will get it right this time. Like, let's give these guys a shot to work it out. Now, if what just happened in the Broncos game continues to happen all season, then okay, we have to have a very different conversation at the end of the season. But I'm anticipating improvement. I'm anticipating those situations not recurring. I'm anticipating like what we just saw with the defense. Finally, it took till week 6, but okay, there we go. Can we build on that defensive performance? Special teams were really good. Can we build on that? Nick Folk was awesome. The returners were good. Like, okay, you're not blowing the game. And a 74-yard return from Canadian Guanu. Can we build on that? So I don't want to reset. I don't want to rip the roots out. I don't want to be doing that. As fun as those episodes are and Boy Green Dailies and Boy Green Meets Woody's, let's break down candidates. I'd rather not. Let's just have a normal friggin' offseason, for God's sakes. So, I don't want to rip this out from root to stern. I want to just commit to this group and allow them to see this thing out. And I'm not saying 5 years, but, they have to have a chance to work themselves out of this.
Well, we definitely don't have time to just – so that's the only main pushback I'll say with that. Like, no matter what – like we've already said this before. They go 0-17. You don't care. You've already burnt this year. You're happy to burn the year.
That's not what I said.
I don't have years to burn. I don't care about none of that. I don't think he should have been hired. I was never team AG, but I can be convinced, right? I can be convinced. And right now, he's done a fantastic job of doing the exact opposite, to the point where a lot of his believers, I can't remember too many commenters other than, fire Aaron Glenn or that commenter who was against the signing. But now I'm reading them now. And so 0-17 to me, that's a clear fireable offense. We cannot burn years. We just can't just be burning years for the sake of burning years. It is a dumpster fire. The worst team in all professional sports, not just the NFL. Every single North American sport, we are the worst, the laughing stock. You need somebody to turn it around. If he's not turning it around, which it looks like he's just going really fast in the same direction, which is even worse, then a change will have to be made. Am I saying it has to be made right now? No. But what I'm definitely saying right now, is that he's done a horrible job so far.
Yeah, they're 0-6. I can't disagree with that. Obviously, I mean it's been awful. But
you're just saying let him keep making horrible mistakes. Like
that's not what I said. I did not say.
No, that's what he said. 0-17. And he gets his job back. That's okay. That's okay. Let me tell you something right now. I got children that are potty training. All right. If my son pees on the couch, I'm not gonna be like, let him just wait. We'll talk about it at the end of the day, or we have to address the situation right then and there. Right then and there. I'm not. Oh, okay. Maybe he'll just pee on the wall next time. No, or oh no. Hopefully he'll learn and just pee in the pot. No, we are addressing the issue right then, right now. Aaron Glenn was peeing all over the couch to end both of those halves, and you talking about magically, maybe he'll find the potty next time. You are magically. Wait. It's crazy. The delusion. You still on that delusion, BG. You still
Let
on
me just clear this up. I made the 0-17 comment before this Broncos game. Okay, before what that was worse than anything we've seen from AG so far in terms of half scenarios. So I just want that to be clear out in the universe. But I want to bring this question up, and Big Islander fan asked it of me, but I want to ask it as our question because this will be one of our final questions here because I think this is interesting. And I talked about this with Jake Asman during our interview earlier today. Big Islander fan says, Paul, you think he, referencing Aaron Glenn, should manage our next quarterback? There have been a lot of people out in the universe that's the fear, right? Go to Brian Callahan, Tennessee Titans, former Tennessee Titans head coach who was just fired, right? So Titans hire this guy. Things don't go well in year one, but they're like, we got to bring him back, right? And they have the number one overall pick. They take a quarterback, Cam Ward. They pair them together. Obviously, they weren't that pot committed to Brian Callahan. 6 weeks of the season, like, get your ass out of here. He's fired. But now Cam Ward, the number one overall pick, is like, geez, multiple coaches and multiple offensive systems. It sets that player up for shit. Now, that sometimes quarterbacks can overcome that sort of stuff, but that's not ideal. So now we go to this where if Aaron Glenn finishes the year in a haphazard way, but Woody's like, I can't fire him after this. And then we go through the same thing that Tennessee potentially goes through. Then we're just delaying the inevitable as opposed to ripping the Band-Aid off initially. But while he's made some mistakes in a variety of fashions in terms of these end-of-half scenarios, what does that have anything to do with quarterback development? Maybe the thing that Woody's about to say here, if he can't handle that, then how can he handle this? Maybe. But I don't know. Tanner Engstrand, to me, while the plan was awful against Denver, was it Justin Fields and that they're scared of him making mistakes, so they're coaching scared, and that's it. Now, Tanner could get blamed for that, but that they've realized that maybe Justin Fields, that Pittsburgh game, can't be replicated consistently on a week-to-week basis, and thus they have to affect their plan and hope the rest of the team can carry them, which would have been a haphazard strategy, quite frankly, before this week, because the defense had been booty. So if you were relying, hopefully the defense can save us, geez, that's a horrible plan. The defense or special teams couldn't have saved you in those previous weeks. So I do believe that he could and should manage our next quarterback at this current moment in time. We'll see, obviously, what changes. Hi, honey. We'll see what currently changes over the final 11 games of the season, but we'll throw it over to you, Woody. What say you?
With that firing of Brian Callahan, I believe it was Adam Schefter who said that makes it 4 straight first-round picks who have lost their head coach either immediately after or during their rookie year, which is an unbelievable stat. But a lot of those guys, aren't doing half bad right now. Trevor Lawrence, right now he's in contention for the tops of his division. He has a playoff win under his belt. Caleb Williams just won last night in prime time. I'm forgetting the fourth person.
I'll pull it up.
Oh, Bryce Young. It's Bryce Young.
Oh, yeah.
Who, they are playing competitive football. They just, beat the Cowboys. So that's it. It's Cam Ward, who obviously remains to be seen. Trevor, who is fine. Caleb, fine. And Bryce Young, who seems to be doing pretty fine as well. So with that being said, I'm cool with that. He's got to win some games. 0-17, get out of the organization. But
so how many does he have to win?
3. Well, we'll see. Because then now you're talking about the first pick. Like, are you going to get the first pick at 3?
So is it a first pick thing? Is it a first pick thing or win thing? What is
if they go 0-17, that it's just an abomination. The roster is not an 0-17 roster.
I get that. And again, that would be the first time in NFL history anyone has ever gone 0-17. So yeah, I would understand if people said, fire him. I'd understand the people that made that argument. I'm saying, there are teams that have won 3 games before and still ended up with the number 1 overall pick. So what I'm saying is having the number 1 overall pick part of the disgrace of being the worst team in football for you, or is it no,
it's not, because the first overall pick, that's obviously something that's valuable to have. We haven't had it, right? We had to trade up for Sam, and then the Zach situation unfolded as it was. But around there, I guess 2 to 4, something like that. I'm high on Tanner Engstrand. I'm probably more high on Tanner Engstrand than anybody that I've talked to. Guys are open, and it's actually crazy to me that people are he's not calling the game like the Steelers. The Steelers game, they ran the first 7 plays of that game. They were not having Fields throw the ball. Like this game, they had the ball on the 37-yard line, and they opened it up with 2 passes plays, and Fields took a sack and had an incompletion. They've been trying to let him throw the ball, and he just stinks and holds on to the ball. The only difference between the Steelers and pretty much every other game is that the Jets are running the ball at will. So it opened up the field for Justin to make throws. He still made inaccurate throws. We still had Garrett going backwards, but he made the catch. He made the catch. Like he was making the catch. Now, though, the throws are coming out later. They're coming out even more behind. And now guys are getting hurt trying to make those same catches. And the running game is not bailing him out like it did against Pittsburgh. Tanner Engstrand, to me, has been really, really solid and has consistently gotten guys open every week. So to get a rookie in here, and you have Garrett Wilson, you have Mason Taylor, you have that offensive line. Braylon should be on the team. We'll see if Brees can also make the cut, or if they do something in that room. That's really good. That's a really good situation for a QB. So even if Aaron Glenn truly does stink, and they're they're 1-5 next year, like Brian Callahan, and he gets fired at that time, you're not ruining that QB by firing his head coach in 6 games or after that first year. And we have tangible examples of that in the guys I just named. So I'm perfectly fine with rolling the dice with a QB next year.
There you have it. Shout out to Big Islander fan after we answered his question. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club. And we love interacting with the fans, so you guys can always submit your questions and comments. By the way, you also got yourself a raffle ticket for a contest. We do free giveaways every single month, Big Islander fan here on the channel. So you have a raffle ticket for it. It's completely at random. So all you guys have to do is spend $3 on the channel to be eligible for these giveaways. And you now are. We'll figure that out on November 1st for that giveaway. All right, Rudy, let's wrap up there. We will have a third-party Thursday. I'll keep you guys posted once we lock in our Carolina Panthers guru that'll be joining us on Thursday to help us preview that game and set us all up for it. That should be a lot of fun, hopefully, as we'll definitely be having fun on the Thursday. We'll see what happens and put it all together. But, Woodster, any final thoughts?
It's tough road ahead.
Oh, one final question. Let me throw this in real quick.
Yeah.
Who should start a quarterback, Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor?
Come on, man. We already talked about this. You about to make me sound like AG. Justin Fields should start the whole rest of the year.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we're on the same page. But
they gave him the year. So you guys made your bed, lay in it, no matter how much it stinks.
You dirty pigs. Like, nice. Okay, there you go. No, I agree, but I saw that question sort of brimming in the comment section. Just want to make sure that's clear. I agree. What are you going to learn from 36-year-old Tyrod Taylor? Come on, man. He's old as balls, and he's in the last year of his deal. Is he coming back? I've got no idea.
Well, if you're trying to win games, then that's why you would play Tyrod Taylor.
But you're 0-6. Like if the season was, if they were 3-3, and like the defense and special teams were carrying the Jets' victories, and Justin Fields, you were winning in spite of him. And you're like, man, we got a chance at the playoffs to end this drought. Fuck you, buddy. We're going to Tyrod. Okay, you can make that argument. 0-6. The season's lost. Tyrod's not saving this season.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is that's exactly what the Steelers did last year. They saved their season by making a quarterback switch, and guys completely spun the narrative of what that was. That was so funny. I tried to tell you guys in real time over and over and over. You guys just kept saying the same old nonsense. But he was 4-2. He didn't throw a lot of interceptions. Remember that? Remember that, Boy Green? He's going to throw an interception this year. Wow. Wow, what a guy. He's
He
amazing,
is,
huh?
he is the lone remaining starter that has not thrown a pick this year.
Yeah, wow. I wonder why.
Well, yeah, it looks a lot worse now. Well, Wudi, let's give a quick shout out to all our people on Instagram. Again, hopefully StreamYard eventually fixes it where we can interact with more of you guys. Cole Young, Shad Johnson, Charlie, LaConte, Leo. I wish we could interact with you guys more so it's not on a different tab. But shout out to our Instagram folks, Twitter folks, and YouTube, Boy Green, and Take Flight Talk, baby. Make sure you guys show all your love, like the video, hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're not, what are you doing? You should be hopping over on YouTube. Again, make sure you support both channels. At BoyGreen25, that's my channel, and at Take Flight Talk is Woody's. Woody, have a lot of fun. Can't wait to keep us posted on your travels for the Jets-Panthers game. Looking forward to it, man. Keep pounding. Keep pounding, baby.
Hey, thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
I can't wait to see pictures from the tailgate. You and DJ Gina Turner spinning it up. That's going to be awesome, man. Can't wait. Keep me posted.
Oh, my God. That's pretty funny. But, yes, appreciate all you guys in the comments, everybody. Johnny Boy, give me a call, man, because the fact that you still out here hyping up Justin Fields, I'm about to call the cops. I don't know. I'm about to call somebody because I don't know what you're seeing. So let's talk about it. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their day.
See ya. Peace.